Hello beautiful and wonderful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Georgina. If you are new to my channel, it's so great to have you here. Please don't forget to follow my page and subscribe to my channel as well. In today's recipe, I'll share with you how to make TUO. Yes, TUO ZAAFI. This is so delicious. It is normally found in the Muslim community in Ghana, and trust me, this it's very delicious. I love this food. Anytime I make this food, I'm very happy because it's one of my favorites. Let's get started. So this is the fresh jute leaves. Where I went to buy the goat meat, they've planted it and then they gave me some. It was very fresh. Let's get started. So I'll start by cooking the meat. I first added in pomo, goat meat, cow meat. I have tripe and liver as well, which is the intestines. The tripe, we call it, some call it in Ghana, the towel. I'll then add in 1 shrimp cube, meat seasoning, salt, and set it aside. In a blender, I'll add in onion, ginger, habanero pepper, garlic, red chili pepper, fennel seeds. I'll add in water, cover it and blend until almost smooth. So after blending, I'll add some of the onion mix to the meat and stir it until everything comes together. So for the seasoning, you can use any seasoning of your choice, but the blended onion mix, make sure you leave some because we'll be using some later whilst the video goes forward. So this is the fresh jute leaves. As you can see, it's very fresh. I was very happy to have this. So I'll take it take it one by one from the stem and then move to the next step. As you can see here, you only want the leaves, not the stem. I'll set it aside, bring some and chop it into smaller pieces. It should be roughly chopped because at the end we're going to blend it, so do not disturb yourself to chop it into smaller pieces or little pieces. That's it. I'll wash it and add it to my saucepan. I'll add in water and bring it to a boil. So I'll use okra as well. Some do use okra and some not, but then I'm using okra to make it more slimy. For the okra, I'll divide it I'll take off the head, divide it into 2 and then take out the seeds. You want to make sure you've removed all the seeds before using it because the seeds is not important and then it makes it white and you do not want that color. But if you want, you can just cook all and add it to it, but me, I'll remove the seeds. So I then came back to the meat and check if everything was okay, if the salt and everything was okay. So I tasted it and it was perfect. I then added in more water to help cook the meat because you want it more soft. So make sure you add in more water and cook it until it's ready. So back to the jute leaves. As you can see here, it's cooking. Once it starts boiling, I'll let it boil for 5 minutes, not more than that, because at the end we're going to cook it again. So don't overcook it. I'll pour it after 5 minutes. I'll pour it in my blender and blend it. So when blending, don't blend until smooth. I don't want it very smooth, so I blend like 1 second or 2 seconds. I stop, blend and stop and blend, so it's like you're blazing it. I don't know if it's the right name. That's it. So this is the consistency you're looking for. I'll go ahead and then blend the okra as well. For the okra, make sure you blend it very smooth. After the jute leaf, I do not want to cook it raw, so before cooking, I'll add in some of the blended onion mix in my saucepan. I'll add in vegetable seasoning, shrimp powder, fish powder, and dawa. For the dawa, I don't know the English name, so I add in dawa and close it and let it cook for some minutes before adding in the jute leaf. So this is it. It's very simple, it's easy, but if you want it to raw, you can just go ahead and let it boil for some minutes. But it's better you do it this way. At least it gives it some taste, because eating the raw jute leaves, like eating it raw like this without adding in any spices, it makes it raw and doesn't make it nice. But then when you add these ingredients to it, it makes it more nicer. So this is what you're looking for. Let it boil for some minutes, and then if it's too thick, add in water and then let it boil for some minutes and keep it aside. So by then the meat was ready. As you can see here, the meat was ready. The pomo, this pomo is like the head of the cow, and as you can see, it's very thick. It has meat in it as well. It's very, very delicious. It was ready. I'll keep it aside and move to the next step. For the next step, we're going to fry the meat. I'll fry only the meat, not the intestines. I'll fry it, and then you do not want to make it more hard. Just fry it for some minutes, because the meat itself is already tender. You do not want to make it more hard. If not, it will be very hard to chew, and then you need something soft to enjoy your tuo with. Your TUO ZAAFI. So don't make it hard. Fry it for some few minutes and then remove it from the fire. After some minutes, as you can see, it has fried here. I'll then take it from the fire and move to the next step. Even the meat on itself, was so delicious. For the next step, I'll add a little bit of palm oil to my saucepan. Normally, this is what they use palm oil. I'll then add in chopped onion and the blended onion mix that I blended earlier on. I'll stir it and then add in the tomato puree. So in this case, if you are using fresh tomatoes, chop it into smaller pieces, blend it until almost smooth, and then add it to it. But then I wanted to use the already blended tomato puree, so I then added in the stock from the meat and then dawa. I'll stir it and leave the fire to do its job. After some minutes, I'll go ahead and stir this and add in the rest of the ingredients, which is 1 shrimp cube, fish powder, and shrimp powder as well. I then added in the stew seasoning and stir this. Later I added in the intestines and then give it a stir. I'll stir this for I'll stir it and leave it for some minutes and add in the fried meat. So as you can see here, this stew on its own is very, very delicious. The next day I ate it with rice. Oh, mamma mia. And that was very, very delicious. Basically, this is the stew. Lastly, I'll add in vegetable seasoning, and I tasted it was missing some salt, so I added in salt, and that's it. Basically, this is the stew. It's delicious on its own. It can be eaten with kenke, with bangkun, with rice, with cooked yam. Trust me, the stew itself on its own, it's so delicious. I'm now done with the stew, and this is the last thing that I'll be doing, which is the tuo. First, you want to start by putting your saucepan on fire, add in water and bring it to a boil, and then add in in a separate plate, add in your corn flour and then mix it until well combined, just like so, and keep it aside. By then the water should be boiling, and add it to it. So first, it's like you're making corn porridge. Stir it until it thickens up. Once it thickens up, add in more of the corn flour, and then cassava flour, which we call in Ghana kokonte flour, kokonte powder. So at this point, you want to stir it faster, because if you don't stir it faster, it will form lumps, and trust me, you have to throw it away and do another one. So at that point, make sure you stir it more faster and then ride it. like you're cooking banku or you're preparing banku. That's it. Once everything has come together and then it's a bit solid, add in some of the corn porridge. You didn't see it, I didn't show you earlier on, but I took some of the corn porridge out from the one that I used, and then I kept it aside. So whilst it's going on, I'll add it bit by bit until I get the consistency I'm looking for. So as you can see in the video, I added some and then right until it becomes very soft. As you can see here, it's very soft. You know, TZ is very soft. It's almost liquid, like just look at it. But once it cools down, it will harden up, and that's it. You are good to go. So everything was ready, and now we have to serve this delicious food. And my friends were patiently waiting for me, waiting for this food. After they were done, they even requested to bring some home because it was so delicious. Trust me, do it, make this recipe, and you will love it. And I added in some eggs with pepper, with that shito. That's how I love my TZ. Trust me, it was so delicious. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Why don't you give me a credit by giving this video a thumbs up, share, comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, follow my page, and see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye.